I knew that it was a total mistake the moment that I got in the boat. It was actually a raft. Have any of you ever made one of those choices where, like, as soon as you made it, I mean, the moment you did, you're at Six Flags, and they say, no, ride this. No, it's like 3 loops and 2 flips. No, it's cool. And you get in and click, and then bum, and you realize I've made a terrible error, right? As it makes that first drop or that second loop, or you're skiing, I don't know, Big Bear or Lake Arrowhead or Mammoth, and somebody says, oh, let's go this way. Yeah, okay, that says double diamond. Yeah, it's not that bad. It's basically like a green. Just come and you look and you're going off a cliff. And as soon as you point your skis over, you're thinking, no. Or that time at the lake when everybody found this cliff and they said, no, go up here. No, climb up a little bit higher. Yeah, right up there. Okay, and you walk out and your buddy's on the count of 3, we're going to run. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And as you get in the air, you look down and you realize you just jumped off of the Empire State Building. And while you're falling through the air, you repent repeatedly while screaming, no! That was what I felt like. Not the first second I got in the raft. Now, I need to set this up. My son Spencer went with me as I went to speak to the Busoga Bible College in Jinja, Uganda. That's Spence right there, several years ago. And they said, hey, listen, we want to take you on a safari, taking pictures. So we went. That's not a picture from Google. That's a picture of an elephant that I took. It was just so cool. But then somebody pulled Spencer aside and said, you cannot go home until you have done whitewater rafting on the Nile. Now, I'm used to thinking of the Nile River as like, Moses in a basket, and not Moses in a basket, whoosh, she's gone. That's what the Nile River is like at Jinja. And my buddy said, oh, Jeff, come on, your son's come this far. He's got to do this. And I'm like, So we went down to the place where you get on the bus to go to this thing. And I should have known when I got down there. I looked at the crowd. They were all your age or slightly older, right? I mean, it was just young people, and all of them were like, yeah. There were some kids from Australia who were like, oh, this is going to be awesome, And they're getting ready to get on, and they hand us these flimsy little, life jackets, and like, do you have helmets? And, they're like, oh, don't worry. They had sawed off the top of a school bus, and we all got in this, kind of janky, scary school bus. And it started going down towards the river. And I'm looking around and realized we had signed nothing. You know how in America, if you're going to go whitewater rafting, you sign 9 pages. If I die, yes. If I die, yes. If I die. There was nothing. No insurance, no worries, right? And boom, down we go. And I'm looking around the bus, and I realized, no. And I looked over my shoulder, and a lady was sitting behind me. I mean, she was like, I don't know, probably 40, right? So I'm thinking, yay, a wrinkled person. So I turned around and I said, hi. There's a lot of young people there. And she said, yeah, this is often a young person's thing. And I said, well, what brings you here? And she says, I was a river guide in Colorado on the river there for 18 years. And I'm like, wow, awesome, right? I want to sit next to her. And I said, well, do you still guide? And she says, oh, no. I said, well, you're not too old, She says, no, it had anything to do with that. And I said, why don't you guide? And she said, I had a rafter die 2 years ago. Whoa, I'm so sorry. She said, no, it's okay. Talking about it sometimes helps. And I said, well, did they fall and hit their head or something? She said, no. She said, he was an older man. And I said, oh, you mean like 70? She said, no, just, late 50s. Ah. How did he die? Did he drown or no, she said, no. It's just that the water was really, really churny and we'd flipped like twice. And the third time we flipped, he was just exhausted. And two of us reached down and grabbed him by his life jacket and started to pull him up in the boat, and he had a heart attack. And the doctors have told us it was a bad kind. I mean, even if he was at home, it probably would have taken his life, but I just couldn't. And it's the first time I've gone back in a while. Wow, okay. And at that time, okay, everybody get out, here we go. And I'm thinking, old guy, okay, old guy. We went down to the boat, I got in the boat, here's my son who's like 17 and then the 19 and a 20-year-old. There was all these guys, testosterone, and one young lady in the boat with me, and so we're like, hey. And the guy says, our guide's name is Moses. That made me feel a little better. And Moses says, okay, you need to know something. This raft is probably going to flip over. And everybody's, yay. And he says, and when it does, just know that there's air underneath. Let me show you. And the guy in one move grabbed a rope, threw his weight, and the whole raft went over. I mean, in pretty still water, but still it was like, what? And so I come up and, what? There was air. There's like this much room, right? And I'm like, oh, this is a cheesecake. I can handle this. So he had us swim out, and they flipped it, and we climbed back in, and I think, okay, I can handle this. And then we went around the corner, and then we saw the whitewater. This is what the whitewater looked like, okay? So, there's 2s and 3s. I'd done 2s and 3s, 4s and 5s, not bad. They have 5s and 6s on the Nile River here. Now, let me identify myself. I'm back there right by Moses and kind of have a dark helmet on. My son, Spencer, is the first person on the right-hand side, and the guy next to him is from Australia and is totally crazy. So they were up front like, yeah, let's go. And he swirled us over, and we made a turn, and this happened. You see the place where you can't see the person? That's me. Come, yes. And then. That happened 3 times. I'm telling you, you get up and you pop up and you expect air and there's nothing but foam. What is foam? Foam is little pieces of water that are in the air, and when you go, you just swallow all those bubbles. And you become like one of those bubble machines the kids buy, and you're just coming out. The first time I got out okay. The second time I was worn out. The third time I am just like floating on my back, by the boat. And my son's saying, Dad, get in. And I'm like, I'll just go this way. He says, no. Moses says, you can't. Come on. I get over next to the boat, and one of the guys in Moses grabs my life jacket. And they begin to pull me. This is where I meet Jesus. They got me like a beached whale up into the boat, and everybody claps, Mr. Jeff, you doing okay? And I'm like, I'm fine, For 2 weeks in Africa, we had used bottled water to brush our teeth because you don't want to drink the local water because, as the water is, I drank 2 gallons of it underneath that raft. So my life was, on a short fuse anyway. I got in the boat, and the guy said, now we can stop if some of you want to get off at the halfway point because up ahead we got the man's way and the chicken way. Anybody want to do the chicken way? Me and the lady went, bark, 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 bark. I know what the disciples felt. I mean, at least a little bit. And the next time I read that Bible story, you know the one, right? From several of the gospel writers read it, but here's how Matthew puts it. Matthew says, then he got into the boat and his disciples followed him, and suddenly a furious, everybody say furious. Okay, I love the way they use that word because furious is a word that means angry. It's like the storm had an attitude. It was like, I am so coming for you. He says, and they got in the boat and suddenly say it one more time and be furious. Storm came up on the lake so that the waves swept over the boat. Yeah, I know what that feels like. It is not a happy feeling. It is like, why am all of a sudden I in Nemo, I mean, all of a sudden I'm trying to find Nemo because the water is all over me. I'm soaked. I'm scared. Oh, let me add something you don't know. Maybe you do. None of the men in that boat, in all probability, knew how to swim. Okay, now hang on. You're going, what? They're fishermen. Dude, there were no pools. There were no swimming lessons. People died who fell in the water. And so generally in Jesus' day, it was like, whoa, don't let my baby go out there, right? Getting baptized, woo, move of faith, right? Because you're going to go down, man, bring me up, get me out of here. Isn't that crazy to think that all these guys are in the boat, not one of them can swim. The water comes swamping over it. And is it any surprise that this is what the Bible says next? The disciples went and woke Jesus. Why, they woke him. Look at it, says, so the waves swept over the boat. I love this. But Jesus was sleeping. Can you imagine somebody in that whitewater raft, what's wrong with her? Oh, she fell asleep at the last turn, He's sleeping? You've got to be kidding me. And of course they went to wake him up. You'd think they're going to go to wake up Jesus. Lord, please take care of us. That's not what happened. Look what happened. It says they went to wake up Jesus and said to him, everybody say, Lord, save us. Lord, save us. We're going to drown. Basically, they just wanted to wake up Jesus so he could say goodbye to them. We're dying. We're dying. We're going down. We're going to drown, right? Totally panicked. Now, there is something that I think happened to the disciples in this scene. I call it stormitis, because I think something occurs when all of a sudden your little boat gets swamped, goes into a terrible storm. I tried to find a picture, a little painting, right? Because there's been lots of them done, of Jesus and the disciples in the boat in the storm. One of the best looking ones I found looks like this. But it sucks, because if you look at the people, do any of them look scared, right? No, they're posing for an Instagram. Hey, I'm here on this boat, and it's so cool, and it's so awesome. And I'm assuming blue standing guy is Jesus. I'm really not sure, because everybody just looks so chill. But look, there's the waves all around them. They would not be looking like this. What they would be looking like is, on the count of 3, I need everybody to go just a little bit nuts. Don't slap anybody. And I just want you to go, we're going to drown. Ready? 1, 2, 3. We're going to drown. Yes, that is not anywhere in that painting, right? I mean, unless they're standing there going, Bartholomew, I think we're going to die. Yes, Thaddeus, I think so too. Be still, Leonardo's trying to paint us here, So, you may ask, wait a minute, Pastor Jeff, what is stormitis? And how do I know if I have stormitis? Stormitis does 3 things to you. And by the way, you don't have to be in a boat on the Sea of Galilee. You don't have to be in a raft on the Nile. You can be in your high school. You can be in your home. You can be, good night, you could be here. And all of a sudden, a text from home, a comment somebody makes, an email that says, sorry, you're not going to be on the team. Or a text that says, please pray, the test came back positive for cancer. Or maybe, bless your heart, you're sitting here in this room, praying that by the time you get home, your folks will still be together. I get you. Storms happen. Whisper to the person next to you, storms happen. This is real stuff. This is real stuff. And when the storm happens, I want to prepare you, because it's not if the storm happens, it's when the storm happens. Like, when I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, in the same way. 3 things. See if you guys agree with me. Number 1, the first thing that happens in stormitis is you immediately get amnesia. You forget everything you know about God because of that text, because of that moment, because of, he's dropped me. She's not going out with me. Look, here's the picture. She's already going to prom with somebody else. Or, oh, no, I can't believe I didn't get the position on the team job, whatever it is. And everything you know about God vanishes. You say, why do you think that? The guys in the boat, they had watched Jesus heal a leper, cast a demon out, raise a boy from death. I mean, these guys had seen Jesus do epic, mighty things. and he's right stinking there in the boat with them, but their first response is, we're gonna die. Gentlemen, do you remember who that is? No, look at the waves, look at the storm. Because the second thing that it does, not only does it cause you to forget that God's faithfulness in your life, not only will the word cancer, or not only will the word divorce, or not only will the word, we found this, and this is yours, and you're caught, all of a sudden leave you going, no. The second thing you're going to become is totally nearsighted, because all you can see right now is this problem. And I've got to do whatever it takes to get out of this. Oh my goodness, how am I ever going to deal with it? Everything else disappears. The friends around you that could help you, the Jesus who is with you even now, who could guide you, the youth worker, youth minister, youth leader, youth pastor. Boom, because it's right here. It's just right here. Oh my God, what am I going to do? And when the amnesia leads to nearsightedness, then you get what I call dummonia. You start making dumb choices right and left. You think, oh no, I'm caught. I'll lie. That'll be a good thing to do. Man, she makes me so mad that you just respond and you just cuss out your grandma. And no, not a good call. Not a good call. You're in a situation and you see something and you want it so bad, and you look around and boom, it goes in your pocket, it goes in your sweatshirt, and you're walking out the door and beep, beep, beep. And all of a sudden, whoa, excuse me, what do you have? And you're thinking, how did I get here? Lean over and say, stupid choice. Go ahead and just tell them, stupid choice, right? Come on, let's be real. You're spending time with this person of the opposite sex, and you're kind of, you're a thing, and she goes, hey, you want to dip over to my place, this weekend? Sure, yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, my folks are out of town. Okay, but your sister's home from college. No, she's going down to Orange County. She's actually going down to San Diego to visit friends. Well, who's going to be at the house? Just me and you. There's a storm coming, brother. And before you know it, the water is going to be flashing over you. Or young lady, when it's the guy that says, hey, my family's going to be gone. You get in the house, okay, we'll watch some Netflix. We'll watch a movie, watch something, a little popcorn. And before you know it, it's like, hey, I don't think I've ever showed you my bedroom. And you are thinking to yourself at that moment, oh, dude, I don't want to seem lame. I don't want to seem, get away. I've got to be out of here. I'm a Christian. No, you're like, well, and then you make a dumb choice. You whisper to the you inside of you in your head, and you say, we'll just go up there for just a minute. Lean over the person next to you and whisper, stupid choice. Yes. It's the same kind of demonia that happens to the disciples when they're like, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? We're all going to die. And I love what Jesus does. Jesus wakes up. Well, of course he does, because they scared him to death. Jesus! Right? And he goes, whoa, guys, look what he says. Oh, you of little faith. I mean, the first thing he says is not about the storm. It's, do you remember who I am? Do you remember why you're following me? Hi, my name is Jesus, Son of God, ruler of the universe, creator of all mankind. So do you think the scary we're going to die stuff indicates you believe in me? Now, he doesn't say all of that, but he says, you have little faith. Why are you so afraid? Now, the word afraid, I get. I've got grandkids. I know it's a shock. I married my wife when I was 13, and it just all went from there. No. No. So, I've got grandkids, and 3 of them stayed the night the other night, because one family lives in Simi, and the other one lives there in Malibu at Pepperdine and works on the campus. And so we had a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old, right? And we got the bunk beds, and we got them all, put up there together, and their mom and dad were down the hallway, but their mom and dad went downstairs to play some board games and stuff. And so I'm upstairs, and I do a little story, a little Jesus story. Hey, okay, we say a little prayer, and I go out, and as I shut the door, I hear, Jefe, Jefe, Jefe. And it's my grandpa name. It's Jeff, with it pronounced like Spanish, with a Jefe. Yes, it has a meaning in Spanish. I know what it is, and I'm very cool with it. So anyway, they say, Jefe, Jefe, and I say, what? And she goes, well, you didn't turn on the shushi. I said, what? The shushi. What? Oh, yes. I'm sorry. And I go over, there's this little circle, and it's electronic, and you hit it, and it goes, shh. There's 3 or 4 sounds. I mean, it makes them think they're sleeping in an airport, and somehow that makes them feel better. Do you have little cousins? You know what I'm talking about? The shushi shh thing? And I thought, that is the dumbest thing. But it works. It works. But you also, she goes, wait, have it. What? Don't shut the door all the way. Why? We need a little light. Why? Because I think there's something under the bed. Yeah, all the toys you pushed under there, sweetheart. That's what's under the bed. But it's brutal if I just go, hey, knock it off. Don't be afraid. And yet Jesus says, guys, why do you let fear control you? If I don't do this guy won't date me anymore. If I don't do this, I'm going to get kicked out of the group. Dude, if I don't go with them, they're all like, man, we're going to go to this movie, man, come on. Or, hey, come over to my house. I've got some videos that, whoa. And you find yourself going, I want out. I want to leave. This is not the boat I want to be in, except you're scared. Satan loves this part. He loves it when you're scared, because when you're scared, you typically don't make good choices. And so Jesus says, gentlemen, I'm here. I am with you. Everybody say with you. I am, whisper it, I am with you. That's what I needed to say to Imogen, sweetheart. Jesus is with you. Don't be afraid. He is, say it, with you. Maybe that's what you need to have whispered in your ear when somebody tries to get you to do something really foolish and really wrong. And you're thinking, oh no, but what if I? Everybody say, Jesus is with you. We laugh about it in here, but the truth is out there, it'll eat our lunch and mess up our life. And that's why we're telling this story tonight. Because the next thing that Jesus does, he becomes the world's greatest shushi. He goes, shh, and the storm goes, okay. It's over. I mean, really, literally, just shh, over. Peace, be still. He calmed the waves. And the disciples are like, oh, wow. You've seen this movie. You've been to VBS. You know what the guy does. But boom, their amnesia's gone. Oh, wow, he is the Lord and Master. This is so awesome. So, there's a verse that we skipped. Well, we didn't actually skip it, but it's one I need to leave you with. It's the very first line, and here's what it says. It says, and Jesus got into the boat, and his disciples followed him. Now, why is this important? How do you think they got into the boat that got out into the storm in that mess? Jesus. Excuse me, Jesus trying to kill the disciples? No. Good question, but no, right? I mean, the disciples are out there going, oh, we're going to die. We're not even going to be able to write the New Testament. Jesus got into the boat. Do you think Jesus didn't know? Yeah, you're right. Didn't have an iPhone. Hadn't gone, what's the weather in Galilee today? Storms. Oh, right? Jesus knew. Jesus gets in the boat. The disciples are like, dude, if Jesus is in, I'm in. Let me say that slow. The disciples make a choice. Hey, dude, you're all going to get in a boat. You got to pick a boat, right? In labor and delivery, you get kicked out of the womb, and now you got to pick a boat. Whose boat you going to be in? For a while, it's mom and daddy's boat. You know, the little baby carrier thing, little baby boat, right? Which is wonderful. They stay. You buckle them in. Stay. They do. It's marvelous. But then they learn to walk. All bets are off, right? Where's Emmy? I don't know. Where's she gone? And then they get to drive. Dear Lord God Almighty, be with me. They learn to drive, and you're like, here are the keys, and they bye, because you pick a boat. And most of us want our own boat. Chris Craft, thank you very much. I'm taking it to Lake Arrowhead. I want my own boat. But you find out that if you're in your boat by yourself, that is scary business because storms happen. And here's the tough part. I don't think Jesus is ever shocked. Lord, it's cancer. I don't think he ever says, no stinking way. Oh, my word. Gabriel, I did not see that coming. Wow. Hey, I don't believe God says going to give you cancer and you leukemia. I don't believe that's the way that works. If somebody tells you that, run away. I do believe this. We live in a broken world, and everybody say storms happen. Storms happen. But God is not, Jesus is not caught off guard. He is there with you. But, yeah, that's good to say applause, sure. But Satan has one goal, and that is to help whip up storms that cause you to totally forget who's right behind you in the boat. So, if you allow me, I want to get in the boat. It was mine. I was 2 years. You don't know where I'm going. I was about 2 years older than most of you, maybe 3, and life was sweet. It was calm. My dad was a pastor, and I was a pastor's kid. I loved church. I'd even started speaking a little bit at this age. In fact, at a couple of youth conferences and things, and I was super blessed. And then my dad started to have headaches. It just kind of slowly came on, and pretty soon the headaches got really, really bad headaches, and then he went to a doctor, and then the doctor did x-rays, and then they did an MRI, and then they said, your dad has a brain tumor, and it's not the good kind. It's the kind that kills people pretty stinking quickly. And everybody prays, and everybody says, oh, please pray for Pastor Walling. And I pray. And I'm driving back and forth to college, and I get a call from my mom that says, Dad's had a seizure. Get home now. And through a storm, I drive home, cussing out God. Why would you do this? Why would you do this to a pastor? Why would you do this to my dad? And as the storm is raging, I am freaking. What do I do without my dad? What do I do without my dad? This can't happen. And just a few weeks later, I'm standing in Lowell in a hospital. And I'm holding my sister, 20 years older than me. Her hand, my brother, 23 years older than me. I am trying not to cry as we watch my father take his last breaths. I'm drowning. And then my sister, God bless her, starts singing my dad's favorite hymn, Some Glad Morning. When this life is o'er, I'll fly away. And we finished the verse. And we hugged my dad. And my sister Theta hugged me. called me by my full name and said, Jefferson, you're not alone. Because Jesus is right here with us in this room. And he will see us through. Being a Christian, being a pastor, being baptized does not mean you won't have terrible storms. What it means is Jesus will be in the boat with you. And no matter how rough, no matter how bad, no matter how horrific and loud and terrible it is, if you're going to be in a storm on a boat, you want to be on one that has Jesus in it. Can I get a oh yeah? So tonight, I don't know where your boat is. I don't know whether your boat is, it's a small world. I don't know whether your boat is like totally calm, or I don't know if your boat is like mine with the raft flipping over and you are gasping for spiritual air. But I know who is right with you. Because Christ loves you. And God so loved you that he gave his son for you. Some of you have never said, okay, Jesus, I'm in. I want to be in your boat. You've never given your life to him. I mean, you've been around it. You sing the praise song. Maybe you've just never said, Jesus, this is it, and are baptized into Christ. Weird, right? Down into water. Scary? No. Awesome. Can I get a oh yeah? Awesome. If you've never made that choice, you're saying, what is this baptism thing? It symbolizes this death, burial, and resurrection. Resurrection is so important. Any place where I've ever served, whenever we baptize people, we always pull them back up. Because not just safety, but when you baptize somebody, that's the moment where it's like, Jesus is going to see you through any storm. And you are now covered with him. Tonight we're going to give some of you that are there a chance to say, can I get in the boat? There are people around you who are praying that you actually will make that choice. And whether you're 16 or whether you're a sponsor here at 36 and you've never given your life to Jesus, this is going to be your moment. But then there's all of us who have been happy camper riders in Jesus' boat, maybe for a month, maybe for several years. Can I just get up close and personal with you for a second? Some of us have been dipping into other boats. We slip out of Jesus' boat and take a little cruise on some other boat. And then we jump back in Jesus' boat. Like, oh yeah, I'm right here. Sunday, here I am. And you know that. And through this week, you've been struggling with, I need that rest of saying, Jesus, here it is. And tonight, you're going to have a chance to do something about that. But can I finish by saying, there are some of us who are so happy in the Jesus boat, we don't ever look in the water. Because in the water is the kid who sits next to you in English class. In the water is the guy who plays on your soccer team, or a girl who plays on your volleyball team, or somebody you know who doesn't know Jesus, and they may not even know you're in his boat. And maybe as soon as this service is over, what you need to do is text them and say, hey, when I get home, can I get a Coke with you? Can I get a coffee with you? I want to talk to you about a boat. And share about the best ride of your life. And that is the ride with Jesus. I'm going to pray, and I want to tell you, don't judge a boat by how it looks. Don't judge a boat by how big it is, or how shiny it is, or how many motors it's gone, or what a cool raft it is. You judge the boat you get in by who's with you. And in our boat, Jesus says, I am with you always. And there's nothing better, no safer place than with him. Bow your head, would you? Father, we bow and we recognize that, oh Lord, it's so tempting to think that your boat is somehow restrictive or going to keep us from enjoying something. And so tonight, I first want to pray for those who have never jumped in the boat, who have never given their heart to life and life to Jesus, who died on the cross, that their sins would be paid for, that they would not try and work their way to heaven or earn anything, but instead they would say, Jesus, I, faith, accept your gift of salvation, confessing him and being baptized in his name. God, I believe there's some young ladies and young men who are like, I know I need to do this, but I'm scared. I mean, I don't know if I'm good enough. I don't know if God, will you whisper in their ear, don't be afraid. Jesus is with you. And Father, for those who've made that commitment but haven't been living like it, who may have wandered away from it, Father, will you encourage them? I've tried before, God. I don't know how to deal with this. Don't be afraid. Spirit, please tell them Jesus is with you. He's not going to throw you back out of the boat. He's not going to kick you out because you made a mistake. He will welcome you in. Oh, Father, let them hear that and know that. And finally, for our friends who need Jesus and we have not shared him, will you forgive us and give us the courage to let CIY this summer not just be a thing that happened, but be a catapult to sharing all through the year. You'll want to get in the boat with Jesus because that's the one that's going where you want to go. Father, as Mike shares with us how we're going to do this tonight, will you just let us be as silent as the waves when Jesus quieted them right in this moment, right now, and give him our full attention, I pray. In Jesus' holy name, we all whisper, amen. Listen to Mike.